When all we really need to do is listen to each other's views on things, cause that's the only way to maintain good love, good love. Sometimes we get stuck on our own and love, good love. To every innocent way you must listen, communicate, but listen to one another.
What's up, everybody? This is The Living Room, and no, I have not backslidden. This is actually David Mann and Tamala Mann from their new album for married folks. So don't be judging me. God made all things for our enjoyment as married folks. So if you got your ring, then this is a great album for husbands and wives to enjoy what the Lord has done. Hallelujah. Glory to God. We're going to start momentarily, but you can help us out by going ahead and inviting somebody in. Go ahead and click that share button. Click that share button and invite somebody in. And as you're coming on, go ahead and you know, it's just polite. I was taught that when you come in the room, you're supposed to speak. You're supposed to say, hey, how you doing? So as you come in, go ahead and say hi so we know that you're on and sharing with us. Tonight's show is not just for married folks, it's for single people as well, because this is the thing. You can always get insight from when your Boaz come or when your good thing come. You'll get some wisdom tips. And I love the word of God because it tells us in the multitude of counsel there is safety. So sometimes we just need some good common sense from people that have walked this thing out. So we're going to be starting momentarily. So go ahead and get your juice, get your popcorn, because this is going to be good. Let me tell you, this is going to be a good one here. I have tonight some good friends of mine. But first of all, I got Lady Valerie with me tonight, guys. And we're not going to do it formal, so we just going to say Val. This is the Dre and Val show. And we're doing relationships. We did this last year. Want to invite everybody. Hey, Camilla, what's up, Ophelia? God bless you all. Y'all go ahead. And what's going on? Go ahead and invite somebody in. You're listening to the smooth tunes of David and Tamala Mann here on Relationship University. We're going to start in a moment. Y'all go ahead and share somebody. Let them know we're on there. Get your popcorn. Get your sandwich.
Stay together, we didn't fall apart.
Yo, JJ, let's go. Come on in to the living room. Yeah, we welcome you to the living room. Yeah, come on in to the living room. Your boy Rob on the vocals. Let's go. Come on in to the living. Yeah, come on in. Thought-provoking conversations that transforms life. Come on in to the living room. We welcome you home to the living room. It's in your hands.
Shifts tonight. Go ahead and tag and invite somebody in. The show's getting ready to start. So glad that you stopped by to hang out with us. Invite somebody in. You don't want to miss this one. This is going to be good. So go ahead, you still have time. Good evening, everybody that's coming in. Welcome to the living room. This is our special edition, Relationships University. Hello, everybody. What's going on? How y'all doing tonight? How you doing tonight? So glad that you all stopped by to be with us. I have a special guest with me tonight. My own rib, my own honey bun, my own the light in my lamp. My God, come on here, somebody. I know that's kind of corny, but yeah. But Lady Valerie, go ahead and say hi to everybody. So glad to have her on tonight. Go ahead and say hi to everybody.
Good evening, everyone. How are you?
So we are so excited about the show tonight. We're continuing. Last week we talked to Rob and Adrian Hunt, which are good friends of mine. So all this month we're going to be sharing with couples with our relationships university. That's what we're calling it. So get your tablet, get your pens, all that kind of stuff, and we're going to take some notes. We're going to dive in because this is a learning tool too. And I always like to just kind of share with people. I know with y'all, now be honest, how many of y'all, when y'all heard me play that music, y'all like, what is going on with Dre? What, he done bumped his head. Y'all thought I had backslid. Egg on your face, but that is David and Tamala Mann. You got to get that CD. It is awesome. You want you can groove a little bit. We're talking couple stuff. And for those that are single, your Boaz and your good thing is on the way. For the men and women that are on here, God's got something special in store for you, but He want to make sure you're well centered in the things of Him. So, with that being said, I got my good friends. Kenneth and Kenyon Dillard. I had the opportunity of meeting these guys by way of another friend. And I mean, we just developed a relationship. I invited them on the show tonight because they're a fun-loving couple. I mean, we joke on Facebook and different things they put up. But here's the thing. They're fun-loving, but they love the Lord. And that's what is really attractive about their outfit. So I wanted to invite them tonight, and they agreed. So they're going to come on and tell a little bit more about themselves, but I just wanted to share with them as I bring them on. So you all, I don't have my sound effects up, but so y'all got to wait till I get my sound effects because I need some applause. So Valerie, hit that. No, you can hit that. Wait, let me bring them in first. All right, so y'all come on, put your hands together and welcome Kenneth and Kenyon Dillard. Y'all come on. Oh, Valerie hit the music. There it is. All right. All right. How y'all doing, guys? What's going on?
Hey, we're good. How are you all?
We're doing well. So glad that you all decide to hang out with us tonight, hang out with the old folk. But we think that is going to be a blessing.
One old folk. One of us is
one old folk. So tell us about the Dillards. Tell us a little bit about who you all are. You all have any kids? Where are you from? Are you all from Orlando? Or tell us a little bit about you all.
All right. Go ahead, honey.
All right. My name is Kenneth Dillard Sr. I'm originally from Rochester, New York, by way of Charlotte, North Carolina, which is where I met my lovely, gorgeous wife. And yes, we have children. We have 5 beautiful, awesome kids, and we've been married for almost 18 years. It'll be 18 years in May 17th.
Wow. Awesome. So for those of you all that are on the line, continue to share as we get ready to get into our question. Go ahead and share. We'd like to welcome Doria. Pastor Doria, welcome you tonight. Mama Sonia, welcome you guys. So we're going to get right into our interview and make it as meaty as possible. And just, I'm pulling up my questions here. So I always, when I invite people on the show, I send questions out, guys, because I don't want to, I learned from Whitney Houston and Oprah, because Whitney told Oprah, I told you not to ask me that. So I always send out my questions first because I don't want that to happen. But talk to us and tell us, how did you all meet? Let's start there. How did you all meet?
Okay, well, we met in, what was it, 2000. I was in 2003. No, we got married in 2003. Anyway, we met in 2000. I had just got out of the military and moved back home, which is Gastonia, North Carolina, about 15 minutes outside of Charlotte. And he was the drummer at this church. And I attended the church because that's where my mom and her husband went. And one day we were having an event at the church, and I was coming from one building across the parking lot, and Kenneth was walking across the parking lot. And I just, I don't even know why I asked him. I just said, "What is your name?" Like, it wasn't that I was interested, but you know, try to tell you something. It wasn't that I was interested. No, like I was just like, "What is your name?" And after that, a couple days later, I think at Bible study, one of my stepsisters come in the bookstore. He had gave her his number to give me. And that's that, Pastor Neil. That's it.
Can y'all do me a favor? Y'all turn your main volume down. Turn your main volume down.
Let me see.
Just turn it down just a little bit. It's getting an echo.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, we can hear you. It won't stop. Yeah, you're good. It's just giving an echo because your volume is up. But it's fine. That's better. Okay. All right. So you just kind of asked him what was going on. You just like wanted to know the man's name and you didn't like him and just wanted to know.
He slid around like he was all that. So I was just like he walking on clouds or something. So I was just noticing, like, what is your name? Like, like, who are you? Nothing in particular, nothing being flirtatious or anything like that. It was just simple. What was your name? Because, like, a little bit about me, when I was in the military, the Lord saved me in like 98, 99. He wouldn't even allow me to date. So dating wasn't even on my mind. It was just more so of like, who are you? Like, what is your name? And that was that.
Okay.
Wow, that's awesome though. It's an interesting story. You typically don't hear it go that way, but yeah, that works. He wanted to be seen, so you gave him your name. At least, okay, start with your name. You strolled through here like Mr. Cool Jack. So what were some of y'all's first dates, Dillards? Like, what did y'all do at the beginning?
See, our first date, we went to Texas Roadhouse, and then we went bowling, just hung out and talked, and just had a good time. Second date was probably, I don't know.
I don't either.
Now, how competitive was Kenyon with the bowling?
How competitive was she?
Was she? Yes.
She can't bowl.
I thought I could.
She can't bowl.
Oh, okay, so it's definitely for fun. Awesome.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. They're saying it's hard to hear the echo, so could you turn down a little more? We're trying to tweak the sound. Guys, will you all let me know, is it from our end or is it from their end? Because I see people saying that it's hard to understand with the echo. Is it from my end or is it over there? Because we want you to hear this. We don't want you to have to try to figure this out. We want you to hear all this. Somebody let me know that if you can.
Let me see something.
So while we're fixing that, we're gonna go ahead and end this. So what would you give?
So on that end.
Oh, so it's on your end, guys. If
Did it help? No, it's worse.
Do you have your?
I have my mic plugged in, but I unplugged it to see if that would help.
Okay.
Do either of you have your phone on with the volume? Maybe the phone volume.
No,
have the. Okay.
I have my phone on, but the volume is muted.
Okay.
1 second, Pastor Neil. Let me see something.
Okay. All right. We good because we want them to hear this.
Hey, take this. Say something.
So y'all
see if I can hear you.
So while you all are getting that together, we want you all to continue to invite people. We thank you all for joining in. For just tuning in, inviting somebody in for the show. We're trying to tweak the volume now, so y'all just bear with us.
Is that better?
Does that sound better, guys? Somebody let us know, is that better? Is that better? Somebody come on and let us know if it's better. Nobody said nothing yet, so we're just, it's kind of delayed on the screen.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I can still hear it.
Okay. I don't know. It's like, no.
Yeah, somebody said no.
Okay, let's do this. Let's you
Can
all
you turn them down on your end?
no, I can't control
You don't
their
control
volume
their
from
volume.
here. Let me see. What
Yeah, my volume is on 26. And I unplugged my mic, so my mic is not plugged up. It's just straight through the laptop volume. Now, you know what, Pastor Neil, let me ask, y'all gotta forgive us, you know. You know, the camera I ordered, the sound, does that pick up sound as well?
Oh, yeah. So you got your camera and your microphone on?
Well, I unplugged the mic, but is the camera picking up sound like too?
Right. The camera
Okay.
picks up sound too. Yeah. So to
Is it a
unplug
way
your
to turn
microphone.
it off?
Okay, go in your settings at the bottom.
Okay, wait a minute.
Y'all please stand by. Go in the settings where it says mic camera.
Okay. One second.
When you click there, click on where it says audio.
1 second.
Hello?
I'm here. 1 second. Oh.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Dr. Polite said you have to turn down your camera volume and make sure you have no other devices volume up.
Dr. Polite said what?
Turn all of your other devices down
Okay.
and your camera volume down.
Okay, 1 second.
All right. Did you find like where it says camera mic?
Okay, did that help?
All right, guys. Does that sound better? Come on, y'all let us know. Now, why I hear me?
I need a camera crew.
Right.
Now we gonna get it right. We gonna get it right. Somebody let us know. Is that better?
Oh, see, yeah, it sounds better now. Oh, they still saying no.
Yeah, because I can hear you on our end. Okay, so
Okay.
did you go to the bottom and click where it says mic and camera? Your little bar at the bottom of your StreamYard.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute.
See where it says mute,
Yes,
camera,
okay.
stop, mic.
Yes.
Okay, where it says mic and camera, click that.
Okay, wait a minute. Camera. Okay, I have a USB live camera and then my HP camera.
Okay, so click it on your USB live camera.
Okay, it's on that. And
Now
then
go
my
to where it says
audio.
go where it's audio and do the same thing. Make sure it's coming through the same way.
Okay, let's see. USB live camera, speaker. Okay. I have it on the camera.
Okay. Okay, guys, does that sound better? Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on. Because I don't have anything. Our stuff is not up. It's not us.
Okay.
All right, does it sound better, you all?
You want me to say something? Hello?
Yeah, because I hear me in y'all house.
You do?
Yeah, when I talk, I can
Yeah,
hear,
we can
like,
hear
we
it
can hear
echo.
me, like, echoing.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me see echo count. Okay.
Test.
Mic check. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, because I don't hear me anymore.
Hello?
Mic check,
Hello?
1, 2. Y'all let us know if that's good.
Okay,
It
Miss
sounds-
Arlene, I'm saying something.
Sound like it's still ended.
Somebody let us know something.
Somebody
It's
said
better.
it's
Okay,
better.
good.
Okay, Renee's still saying no.
It might be where she is.
All right, I don't. Does your laptop have its own camera?
It does.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, unplug your external camera and just use your laptop camera and mic.
That ain't pretty.
You want to use your high tech?
Look, we want to hear you. We gonna get the pretty. We gonna get the pretty.
You look great, sis. Don't
Okay,
worry.
wait a minute.
We'll get the pretty.
Take them down a minute. Okay, it's not connected. Need to turn their volume down and point speakers away from my car. Sing a song.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is that better?
No, that's worse.
No, you just need to turn your stuff down now. Turn your volume down.
Turn the volume down a little bit.
It's down, but we can't hear you.
Oh.
You.
Wait a minute, Pastor Neil. You know, I'm trying to figure. He just sitting here. You see what he's doing? I'm trying to figure it out. I'm engineer, everything.
Camilla said we good.
Who did?
Camilla said we good.
Look, Renee up there laughing.
Now listen, I hope y'all don't. It's not y'all with them cricket phones. Because if you got them cricket phones, they gonna sound like that.
Move cell phones away.
She said move the cell phone away.
Well, no, my cell phone volume is muted.
Yeah, it's muted.
Dr. Polite still saying the volume is too high.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me see.
All the text.
But y'all know what's funny? It's still people logging on.
Yeah, well, you know, the thing that I like to tell people is that you got to realize that we don't have no sound from here yet. We believing for this stuff. So we have to figure this stuff out. Let me see.
Somebody say move to another area in the house.
Let me see something.
Cell phone running interference.
She said cell phone interference.
Nope. Wait a minute.
Cell phone.
Let me see something. Where you?
It's a test of
Okay, well while we getting our sound together.
Okay, Pastor Neil, is this better?
Y'all sound fine to us, but the other folk are saying that y'all sound fine to us. That's what I'm saying. I'm just making sure it's not them cricket people. I love y'all. If y'all got a cricket phone, I love y'all. I do.
He said, Pastor Polite, that's what I'm about to call him. Dr. Polite said, turn your phone off.
Turn your phones off.
Okay, turn your phone off.
Okay, my phone off.
No more echo.
All right, is that better, guys? Renee said, bite my tongue. No, sugar. It's 3 people talking at once.
Wait, let me see something. This has never happened before. This is why it's so weird.
It's
Let me
the
see.
bald-head slewfoot devil.
H.
Where the intercessors at?
I tell you what they at.
We don't have another
Like you said, the volume is too high.
I don't know. They keep saying the volume too high. I don't know what's going on.
And it's hard because we don't hear you all the way. I think they're hearing
Well,
you.
can y'all do me a favor? Because we're gonna do this interview. Can y'all sign completely out and then come back in?
Okay.
Let's try that.
Okay.
And we'll hold the crowd while y'all.
Okay. That's fine.
I'm gonna tell some jokes.
Wait.
iPhone 12 Pro Max.
So look, guys. Thank you all first of all for hanging out with us while we get through this, because we're gonna get through this interview, and just want to encourage everybody to still invite somebody, because the show is not over. We're just experiencing technical difficulties. Y'all know how they do it back in the day, the TV. They would say we interrupt this program, so this program, we just had a little hiccup. So I'm glad to have Lady Valerie here tonight. So I'm glad to have her tonight.
Here.
And
Thank you for inviting me. Again.
We'll tell you about our first date till we get them on there. We'll tell you about our first date.
I think we already did that though.
Well, people probably want to hear it again because, how you pursued me. because I was in church seeking the face of the Lord.
Yes.
And no.
Well, they've already heard your testimony. You were seeking other things.
Yeah, well, we don't want to talk about that part. That's not what they want to hear. They want to hear our first date. Our first date, guys, we went
Facebook. They want to hear juicy
no,
stuff.
This is juicy. This is juicy.
No.
We was in the face of the Lord because I say praying real hard. Yes, I was, sis. I was praying hard, seeking the Lord, minding my own business. My own business.
And the business of a couple of others.
Praise God. Thank you, Jesus, for deliverance. You know, people can always tell your stuff. They can tell your testimony. They can tell your testimony.
Yes.
But I am free in Jesus' name.
Amen.
But
Amen. Delivered.
Want to tell you all why.
Fire baptized.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Why Kenneth them are getting.
Where Miss Charlotte Pope at? She can help me out. Let me call some.
Oh, she even calling witnesses now. She calling people out. See that? This is why she only make guest appearances on my show. Now y'all see. Now y'all see that. But no, we you know, we went through some ups and downs, but you know, this is not our night. We wanted to share with the couples, and I hope you all enjoyed. Last week we had Rob and Adrian Hunt, which were, I mean, awesome. As JJ from Good Time would say, dynamite. You know, they were awesome and really dropped some nuggets. So I really want you all to just hear Kenyon and Kenneth and Kenyon. And I'm going to try, y'all, I don't know, they can't hear it, but I'm going to try to get Kenneth to give me his secret to his cake. This man make the best lemon pound cakes in Orlando. Let me tell you, they are so good. So we're going to see. I kind of eased that in the question. I didn't put that on there, but I'm going to ask him that and see what he said about that pound cake. But they are, you know, good friends of ours. And we appreciate them and appreciate your patience. We appreciate everybody's patience. So while we're talking, I want to kind of just give some information on the conference that we're doing. We're doing a relationship conference. It is virtual. And it's going to be May the 14th through the 15th. This conference is for everybody. It's going to be virtual. It's for everybody. That means you can sit at home in your living room and still participate in this conference. So if you want to be a part of that, we're going to give you the opportunity to register once we open up registration. This is for, if you have went through any of these things in your life, then this conference for you. Married, single, breakups, you're engaged, you're divorced, you're dating, then we have somebody that's going to speak into those areas. We want everybody to understand that in life we have relationships. Yeah. We have relationships. Why my mama putting messages on here until I give her a call tomorrow after?
So talk a little bit more about the relationships.
So the relationships, and the reason why I call it relationships is because we go through a lot of different shifts in life. If the word, you look at the word itself, shift, it's kind of changing directions, if you will, or changing levels in your life and different things. So, but we have to understand that all of those things are okay. They're okay. And in life, I hear people say this all the time. It's so true. It's a true statement. It's not a bad thing, but we say this. You've changed. I've changed. And before, like earlier on, as it referenced relationship, I would say, you know, that's a bad statement. You don't say that, but when you think about it, we do. We all change, right? You know, whether it's the surrounding around you, whether it's people around you, but the fact still remains that we change.
Yeah.
All right, let me see if I can bring the Dillards back on. Dillards, y'all good?
We're working on it. Kenyon's working on it.
All right, let's see.
Is that better? Hello?
We hear you clearly.
Yeah, we hear you. Let's see what the folks say.
Oh, she can't hear us. Hello?
I hear it in the AirPods.
Take it out.
Hello? No. Can y'all hear them pretty good now? Somebody let us know if y'all can hear them okay now. Well, nobody ain't saying nothing, so we're going to go right into it. So, this is delayed. I don't know what people are saying.
And Thank you, Lord, for change.
Yeah, she was talking about what I said.
Oh, okay. Still echo.
Okay, still echo. All right, well, we going to go with it, y'all. They said still echo. I don't know what it is.
Wow.
So this is what we're going to do. Talk to us about the point when you all were dating, because we kind of ended where you all were dating. Or let's start here. Define to us what is dating. What is that?
I don't know. I hear that too. It's the devil all up in here.
Like somebody's stomach growling?
I heard that.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, thank you.
All right, well, this is what we're going to do.
I think you done lost about 30.
Yeah.
Yes,
Will y'all be available tomorrow?
I can't hear nothing.
Can you send her a message?
Can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Are you all available tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what we're going to do. Thank y'all so much, really. But this is what we're going to do, guys. For those that are on here, y'all tune in for our special edition of the Living Room tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Okay? Tomorrow at 8 o'clock, we will be doing the Living Room. So they said all kind of funny stuff. We'll do that. So thank you, guys. We'll talk. What I'm going to do is call you all earlier tomorrow, and we'll kind of tweak everything before we go on. That'll work.
Okay.
Because it could be something on our end. I don't know. It could be something on our end.
No,
We'll see.
I don't know. I'm doing everything I've always done. It's so weird that I hear the echo. It's just echoing and echoing. I hear it. And nothing's different. It's just, I don't know.
It's interference. It's something in the airways. We'll get it done though. But if y'all agree to come back, then we're gonna get her done. We'll get it done. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Right.
Thank you.
All
All right, see y'all.
All right.
Okay.
All right, guys. So what we want to do tomorrow, we're gonna bring Kenyon and Kenneth back. So here's the thing. God must really have something to say through them, because they're, with the turbulence that we're going through. But I just want to invite everybody to come back and tell somebody, tell a friend, and we're going to get them back on here. But I just want to mention to you again before we sign off, thanks to everybody in your patience. Just want to highlight the relationship conference. Please make a note of that. It's for anybody that deals with relationship. If you have any type of relationship, whether it's with your goldfish and your dog, then this conference is for you. And the best part about it, it's virtual. It's virtual, so you don't have to leave your house. All you have to do is click on, and you are right where you need to be. You're right where you need to be. So make sure. My mom got jokes. Amen. Arlene said, our disappointment is God's appointment. Amen. We will see y'all. Sing. No, I'm not.
You should sing an early birthday song to me.
I ain't singing no song. Lady Valerie told me I sing a happy birthday song to her. Her birthday is the whole month of. She telling me to say this, y'all. She feeding this to me. Her birthday is the whole month of March. And she kind of took that from me, because I celebrate my birthday the whole month of December. And every 20th day, I celebrate my birthday, and I buy me something. So
birthday song you did for Shannon?
No, I'm not. I don't even have that on here. But because we that's right, Mel. Because we are have a couple of more times. Hey, Lori, what's going on? If you all have some questions, questions. Every day. If you all have some questions that you all want to put up, we're going to do pop-up questions real quick. If you all have some questions, put on the screen. Put them in the comment section, and we'll Val and I answer your questions. Anything, no special topic, just throw the questions up. We'll give you about a couple of minutes, then we're going to go ahead and sign off. If you got any questions or anything,
Cousin Renee said
we're going to carry on with the show. If you have any comments or any questions, anything you'd like to know pertaining to relationship, how do I keep my youth? You know, if you want those things.
Miss Pope said.
Oh, Miss Pope.
Who got at who? Meaning in dating, who got at who?
I'm sorry, man. I don't understand what.
Like who pursued who?
Oh, who got at who? Oh, you know, Val was all over me. I mean, it was just back then we had beepers, and it was like no, y'all, I'm lying. That ain't the truth.
Now we gonna tell which version.
That ain't the truth. No, actually,
my cash out.
Actually, Val allowed me to pursue her, and we shared the story. But Val allowed me to pursue her. I had a lot of other stuff going on. I just say it like that. Ain't nobody business, as Tabitha Brown would say. It ain't nobody business, your business. And when I decided to settle, that's when I started pursuing Valerie. And I asked Val to marry me twice, and she told me no. It was on the second time you said yes. So I asked twice, and the second time she said yes. And why you told me no?
Because there were things that I had examined or just knew of him, and I just didn't think it was the right timing. And so I just didn't feel confident in the relationship, as confident in the relationship yet to say yes. I just felt we needed to work through some more things that
so
not
funny.
to know.
Yes, period.
And here's to say, not that I didn't notice him and think he was attractive. I did, but I just wasn't the type of girl that pursued guys. I'm very old school in that sense. At least then, I don't know. There's a new age thing that's happening now where I guess it's a flip role. That's just not how I do things. I just didn't pursue him. Like I said, I waited and I paid attention to him and just wasn't sure what he got going on, and just got to first know about him and who he was. And so yeah, he in terms of who got who first, I would say he pursued me first in terms of getting serious, getting to know relationship wise. That was him. Yeah.
Dr. Polite asks, how do you deal with helping a spouse overcome a toxic upbringing? And if I'm understanding this correct, a toxic upbringing, I guess like maybe abuse verbally and different things like that. I would say that's something that you would have to exude patience, because I don't think you could take ownership of that. If that's something that you could help direct them in areas to get help, because that's something that will be self-development within the individual, if I'm understanding correct. So I guess how to deal with that, you would not be combative, but you would understand that I think the first part of that is understanding that it's not them, but it's the environment that they were subjected to is why they're responding, acting that way. So I think for that person, you need to, that Renee said prayer and understanding. So you have to be prayerful and understanding, but come up with ways that it will be beneficial for everybody.
Keep your eyes open. How toxic we talking? Like beer bottles upside your head toxic? Like they are very combative, very verbal, very physical, or just having a lot of insecurities because of it. It does take a level of patience for sure. I think it's nothing that you personally can heal. You can encourage them, but they got to seek out healing, because a lot of times that can spill over and translate into the relationship and continue to create another toxic environment if there's no will to want to work through that stuff. A lot of times we want to be saviors as spouses, but sometimes it's just trying to get to the root cause and understand, is that something you can help encourage them in and through. But if there's past trauma, past hurts, past pains, sometimes as a spouse, you can try to work your best through that, but a lot of times that individual themselves has to want to work through that and get the help needed, figuring out what caused it and what they need to work through. So being there, being supportive, being understanding, but being on guard too and being careful.
Well said. Well said.
A lot of times it'll show up before you get into a relation, like a marriage. I would hope you recognize that in a relationship and just be aware of that.
Someone said
struggle that can make the relationship harder. Oh no, he's clarifying his statement though.
Okay, let's come back to Sing Shalonda. Let's come back in a minute, LaShonda. And no, just struggle that can make the relationship harder. I think for that question, you've got to have good grounds of communication.
Yeah.
If you don't have good grounds of communication, because a struggle to me is just an opposition that you have to work through. Yeah. It could be as big as infidelity, or it could be as small as not wiping off the mirror because you put toothpaste on it. And when it comes to marriages, some of those small things turn real big. So I would say the struggle, you're going to have struggle, you're going to have differences, but what makes them harder is when you don't have those good grounds of communication and establishing clear boundaries. Give clear boundaries. Yeah. And that's a whole series that you have to deal with. How patient is too patient before it becomes being taken for granted? I would say to that question, if you're not having conversation, well, let me back up and say this. What I find out a lot of times when we talk about being patient is not just waiting and not speaking, if that makes sense. Because some of us mean patience is we mix up patience with tolerating. And I'm not talking about tolerating. Patience mean you are expressing your feelings in a way, you're telling how it makes you feel, and you together come up with some type of medium that both of you can work towards. And in essence, I'm saying, if there is no type of working involved or working to or working through, that's not really patience. That's just tolerating. So what we have to find out, are we tolerating the situation, or are we really exemplifying patience? I hope that, thank you, great question. I hope that answered the question. Next question, we got a few more minutes. Few more minutes. Okay, somebody said, sometimes God put you into a situation so you can minister to others who are going through the same thing. That is true. Sometimes God will minister to you, but the same token, as Renee shared, you have to have a way of getting through that, because one of the things we got to understand in the Bible, he said that when you are converted, then go and strengthen a brother. So if you're not practicing those techniques, then there's no way you can help somebody else through. So, and sometimes it deals with you being humble. You have to humble yourself. And a lot of this stuff we don't like to do, especially when it comes to relationship of any kind. If you're headstrong and there's nobody trying to make a peace or come to a healthy medium, you're only going to have clashing of crowns continuously, because everybody want to be right. And sometimes, when we talk about like hearing, and we talked about that, like hearing, like what does it mean to hear or listen? Sometimes like people are like, oh, I listen, but we're not really hearing what that other person is saying. Mm-hmm. Hey, Lori, what's going on? She said, loving this.
Lori Ann. Hey, Lori. Lori Ann Rosado.
Any more questions, guys? Now, y'all gotta tune back in tomorrow too, because we're gonna hopefully we'll have our technical difficulties solved, and we'll get. Okay, here's another.
Yeah.
Read out loud.
You have to love the hurt in prayer.
You have to love the hurt in prayer.
Hearing is huge.
Hearing is huge. Good. Thanks for the comment. Somebody said. Okay. Oh, okay, Angie. I see you. She just Lady V. Okay, so that means I'm gonna do this. You wanna read?
Okay, so Lady V, how do you handle when he and I are in disagreement? Well, wow, where do I begin? So a lot of times, I'll say this: we've had to really learn to just stop and hear what the other person is really saying. So when there are things that we actually disagree about, it's important for us that we communicate all the way through, meaning what the disagreement is about and I speak a lot on myself. I try to stay from pointing the finger or you always this or going into areas that's not keeping the main thing. So let's just say we're arguing about how he leaves clothes laying around. And so a lot of times what I've learned that helps us is to help him understand, why is that a bother to me, or why am I disagreeing, and talking through that and being okay with standing on my why. But it's all in the tone of what I use. I don't call him out of his name. I don't come in an accusatory way, but I'm also trying to get him to say, well, this is how it's impacting me, or this is why I don't like this, or this is why this bothers me. And then I allow him to speak and share his side. And so when we're talking through that, now sometimes we'll still disagree. And then if I feel he's taking it down a path, or if he feels I'm taking it down a path that we're not really hearing what the other person is saying, we quickly bring each other back to that. But this is okay, you're going over there, I'm staying over here. This is what I'm trying to say. So it's really about listening and knowing how to deliver and really speak from my heart as to how the impact is on me. A lot of times we go into disagreements, and we used to do this where it was a lot of finger pointing, a lot of redirecting and blaming him for all these things, where in fact it could be a lot of what I'm feeling. And he's not even know, sometimes he didn't even know that it was that big of a deal. Or sometimes he's not clear as to, well, why does this bother you so much? Why are we even arguing? What is this even about? Mm-hmm. And then a lot of time when you start talking through it, we realize it's really not about it's not about the clothes that you're laying anywhere on the floor. It's more about the fact that I feel undervalued or not appreciated because I'm going and cleaning up this house and you seem to be the one. I'm just using that as an example. He's not that bad. And so how do I handle that? I just make sure that I'm speaking from a place of how it's impacting me and what I need, and just coming to a place where we can disagree. Do we always walk away with the clear, like, okay, I get it, and I'm right, you're wrong? No, I focus more on the fact that I want to just reconcile the moment. I've gotten past the I'm trying to be right. I don't say things like I always told you so. You always do this. Being careful with using those words that are very what do I say, like infinite, like you're always and you every time, because that's not true. It's just in the moment I'm frustrated. And then also taking a seat back, like, well, what is this really about? Am I just frustrated because I had a bad day at work? Is this really worth the disagreement? And so it's all in my tone and in my approach. I know with knowing him, Dre doesn't like raised voices. He doesn't like blame shifting. He doesn't like coming in people, or female especially, coming in a controlling way. And so I understand it's starting vice versa with me. I don't like name calling. You're not going to put your hand and fingers in my face to try to get me to understand something. But we learn it's about talking and properly communicating so that the other one is really hearing, hey, this is why. A lot of times we're afraid to really speak from that place because we feel vulnerable. We feel weak. We feel if I say that hurt my feelings, you made me feel like you didn't care. You didn't even acknowledge me. You didn't even tell me you love me. You just do these things. You act like you don't appreciate. We don't want to speak from that place because it makes us feel less than or weak sometimes. Because we all want to present ourselves as super strong. And so what I've learned to do, I just speak from my heart and place and try to speak in a tone with respect to him, because I do. He's an adult. We are dealing with adults here. Don't talk to somebody like they're a child, because you already got that wall up, that blockage, and they're not even going to hear the message, because it's like, first of all, look how you coming at me. So that's how I handle it. I try. Now, are there times that I raise my voice because I'm frustrated? Yes, but I quickly pay attention to that and bring myself down, because I could tell by his facial that, okay, he's already, before I can talk about what the problem is, he's looking at the way I'm coming at him. And so same it is with him. And so we just respect each other that way. We've had to get there and be honest about what it is that we're really concerned of or disagreeing about it. And really a lot of times it's like, what is it really worth? Is this worth this much frustration? We all gonna have disagreements, but it's not worth not talking for 2 and 3 days and all that type of stuff. And so that's how I honestly handle it. So,
and we had to work to get there. We had to work to get there. It didn't happen overnight. We worked to get there. And just like Valerie said, we start realizing some of the things as we made self-assessment for ourselves. We had to come to the place that it wasn't you this and you this. And I say this over and over again, because a lot of times with couples or just relationship period, and that's what I always say, this is applicable to any relationship, we can't just voice our opinion to be heard, but we got to listen. And what I mean by that, when both of us come in a disagreement, both of our goal is not to prove the other one right or be right and prove the other one wrong. And that's what people make the mistake of, is what can we do to make this be peaceable for the both of us? And that's how you have to, like I said again, I would not say, and I hope nobody looking at, oh, they just perfect. No, that's not it. We had to work at that. It was something that we had to work at. And sometimes you'll find out it spills over from other relationships and things that you were in, and really hurt. Because if somebody hurt you in a certain way in a relationship, then it'll build a fence or bring a wall in front of you. So you'll subject your mate with that, and they don't even know where it comes from. We have a term that Valerie and I adopted. We call it "Keep It On What It's On," and that's a series that we teach called Fighting Fair. Keep it on what it's on, and what keep it on what it's on is you cannot fight unfair. So if me and her are having a disagreement, I can't go back and say, like, last week when you did X, Y, Z, that's unfair because I should have brought it up last week. Right. And here's the thing, a lot of times, because God has just blessed us that we actually talk to different couples, a lot of time people, they want the results, but they don't want to use the tools. Or they'll use the tools like 2 or 3 times and that's it. This ain't working. But you have to work at it. With any relationship, you have to work at it. Even with somebody that's single, you have to work at those relationships. It could be a relationship with your mother, your cousin. You have to work at those relationships and use the technique. All of these things are biblical. The Bible says a soft-spoken answer turns away wrath. And God's word is true. It's going to do exactly what it said. But if you're not one to implement the soft-spoken answer, and I always tell people this, motive speaks louder than your words. You can say it, but your motive is still being malicious. Yeah. Your motive is still being vengeance. So even though you're saying it, like people say, well, I'm sorry for whatever it is that you say I done. That ain't no apology. That is not an apology. So we have to work with those things.
And I think too, being careful, because what I used to do of shutting down, because earlier on, I would just shut down and not want to talk or step away and then say, it's okay, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. But I realized it doesn't resolve anything, because what it would only do is escalate. So the next thing happens, and then it just becomes something that piles on, and then it's like you explode. And so is that really fair to now bring up, 20, things that happened 2 and 3 weeks ago, when you haven't dealt with it? And so, like I said, we've had to learn to come to that place of talking, because neither one of us like a lot of loud conflict necessarily, but we do disagree on things. Mm-hmm. And so we had to learn to get better about talking through those things in the moment. And if it's a bad time, because there are days that right now we agree that, I'll talk about it, but not right now. Or I know we experienced recently, and I was like, well, did that bother you? He's like, yeah. But we'll talk about it later. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm trying to assess, well, what did I say? Or like, is this worth it? So like, okay, well, let me know when you want to talk. And we don't forget about it. We come back around to it, but sometimes you got to just allow yourself to calm down. If you feeling like you might not, how you get to that point, you're like, if I say it right now, and it's like the Holy Spirit like telling you, don't say it, and then you say it anyway, it just escalates, because, again, you're dealing with adults, so everybody's not going to stand for you to just talk to them any kind of way. When it started so small. And then now you got a bigger problem, because now it's not even about the situation, it's about how we're talking to each other, and look how you screaming and da-da-da-da. Now I start attacking, you supposed to be a pastor, and da-da-da. You start throwing in all these jabs. You know how we do, ladies. And so, and that's what he hates. Now he's like, now see, you didn't have to say all that, because we throwing them little jabs here and there. She don't say you're supposed to be a pastor. She don't say. No, not that, but I'm just giving that as an example, because he's like, you ain't have to say that part.
Like one time we had a disagreement, and I'm serious, y'all. If you're not married, you'll find out like some of the smallest things will combust into the biggest things. So the bathroom in the trash can, I don't empty. Val does that all the time. And one day she was just frustrated, and she, called me out about the trash, but she didn't stop there. She talked about the trash, and then she said it for a while. So I'm laying on the side of the bed. Do you hear me? Yes, I hear you. So she started about the trash, but then she started up again about the trash. Then she was paused for a minute. Then she started up again about the trash. So by that time, I'm getting defensive, because I'm like, okay, that's enough. So I'm saying that to say, we have to understand one another, not take everything so personal. understand.
What I say? What's that jab that I throw in that made you mad?
Yeah, and so the jab, I forgot the jab. So the jab that she did, Lori and Angie and Veronica, was, I bet you don't keep your shop this way. Ooh! So she said all that, then she said, I bet you'll keep your shop that way. So that was offensive to me, and so I wanted to retaliate. But I kept my peace, and then I began to be quiet. Well, while I'm quiet, she's like, oh, you don't hear me? So long story short, you have to be willing. So after we came around, we sat down and talked about it. We sat down and talked about it and hashed it out. And what she asked me, well, Dre, you don't want me to say? I said, no, it's not that I don't want you to say anything. It's how you say it. So I said, if you want to say, Dre, can you please help me with the trash? Sometimes I'll take the trash out. I just don't have that on my mind. And that's some things that in marriage you have to deal with. Like I said, the trash can in the bathroom turned to be a big old thing where I'm on my side of the bed. She got her back to me. Wasn't no snuggling, no hugging, no nothing. All about a darn trash can.
But the root of the problem is, why do you think I kept at it? Because we think there was resolve. What she said?
She FedEx the trash to the shop.
Right, Mel. That's what I should have done. But what I'm saying, a lot of times we'll keep going because we don't get the response we want. Right. Because see, what I was looking for him to stop and say, "I'm sorry, I'll do it."
Oh, that's good. Mm-hmm.
Because that was my expectation. Mm-hmm. Or let me get up and do it. Or you right, hon. Let me go ahead and take it. And he was not giving me that. So what I felt, okay, I got to say it again. Or let me try it this way. Okay, now I know I'm going to get him. I bet your shop not like that. Now I get a response. Now it wasn't quite the response I would have wanted. But now I feel in that moment like, oh, now you want to pay attention because I done hit that, that one, that one thing on the side. So, and so that just goes to say when it's unresolved versus just coming out with it from the beginning, like, hey, this is how this, and honestly, part of it was how it was making me feel. I feel like you didn't value, and that's what, when we finally talked about, I said, it's like you don't value the care and concern here in, at the house in this way like you do at your salon. Because I see him at the salon, Dre get one hair on the floor, he gonna sweep it up, his trash go out at the end of the night, and I'm thinking, well, why do you not do this here? And so that was the real root of the cause.
Because it ain't the shop.
Right, exactly. And so, but that was the root of it, but this was me responding because it was unresolved, we hadn't talked about it or talked about it to that level. And so once he understood that, you responded differently, and we're better. And
I do better with the trash. Better with that. I even bought trash bags for the trash can.
Yes, he bought some trash bags for the
But
we're making small steps. We're better.
But it's something that Valerie said. If y'all enjoying this, y'all give us some hand claps, some hearts, or something. Let us know that you're enjoying this. But one of the things that Val and I talked about too was, she hit on, was expectations. And like I said, this information is suitable for any relationship because I've learned this the hard way. One of the things that will set you up for the biggest disappointment in your life, I don't care if it's your cat or your dog, is having a unrealistic expectation and not coming. Maya Angelou said this. She said, when a person shows you the real them, believe them the first time. So there's some time in this navigation of who we are and different things like this, we come into ourselves or things in our life cause us to change where things were important. If we be for real, like when we were younger, certain things were important. As we get older, it's not that important now. So we change. Val's change, our house has changed, and that's why I say it's unfair for us to say, well, we changed. Yeah, everybody changed. The world changed. Nobody doing the same thing. So what we have to do is find out and communicate. We talked about this. We have to communicate the change.
Right.
This is what's going on with me right now, and we come up with solutions so we can help. Because we are life partners. We're in this thing to the end. We are. So, but we made that decision. Right. We made that decision that's what we're going to do. So with that being said, we got to work through this stuff. Yeah. And I think that's what happens a lot of time with people. We get into relationships, and I keep saying, I don't want to make this just solely on marriage, but I want you to be able to have some takeaways for any type of relationship. We have to have realistic expectations. Yeah. We have to have realistic expectation because if we would be truly honest on this line, some of the stuff that made us mad the other person, we say stuff like this. Well, I thought you should have done that. Well, anybody would know that. Well, we don't. Right. And Val and I used to go through that for a season. We went through that. Well, I just thought you should know. I don't know that. I don't know. There's certain things that maybe you think a man should know. I don't know because I wasn't brought up. It could be culturally. It could be my upbringing. It could be a lot of things. But if you're not communicating, and that's what people tend to do, we shut down those grounds of communication, and it gives way to all this speculation. We create these stories in our head. We create this stuff. Well, you probably over there doing X, Y, Z and not communicating, not talking. And that's one of the biggest tricks of the enemy. We don't talk. We don't talk. The Bible says, confess your faults one to another. Pray for one another. The effectual fervent prayer of the righteous man avails much. So that's talking about communication. That means if I've done something, or if I don't understand something, or allow yourself in relationships, and this is something that you'll find out with people, we don't like to be vulnerable.
That's it.
We don't like to be vulnerable because we feel we're going to be wimp. We got people on. But vulnerability is a strength.
Yeah.
Because it's allowing, and this is a word that we adopted in our outfit. It makes me feel this way when X, Y, Z. And I had to learn that when she said that, because this is something we had to work through, I felt like it was a unfair statement because she was telling me the way she feel. Can you believe that? She was like, well, I feel like this. And it's almost, when I thought about it, it was like I was saying, no, you can't feel that way. Right. No, you're not supposed to feel that way. And what we found out is,
Tiana. Hey, Tiana.
What we found out is we had to come to, again, it's all about releasing your pride. And I had to respect, because I would tell Val stuff like this. I would say, be honest with me. Be honest with me. Tell you what me. So when she would tell me, no, I don't like vanilla ice cream. Mm-hmm. And instead of me respecting her response, I would get upset. Well, everybody like vanilla ice cream. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with vanilla ice cream? I bought vanilla ice cream from Baskin Robbins. I didn't go to Winn-Dixie. So I'm justified and not, again, not hearing. And
I think you said something earlier, because a lot of times we'll do things and say things and just assume the other person should be okay with that. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to tell you how it landed with me. I'm trying to tell you the impact that had. You can't tell me how something makes me feel.
Right.
Because maybe you are there. Maybe your skin is in a different toughness than mine. But it's okay. And so a lot of times, because what we'll say, well, I ain't mean for it to go, and I ain't intend to hurt your feelings,
and I asked for it. Mm-hmm.
I didn't intend to do it. Yeah, the intention wasn't there, but the impact did make that type of an impact. So it's always impact versus intent. Yeah, a lot of times we don't intend for anything. We don't intend to hurt your feelings. We don't intend to make you feel bad, but we always add that but. Because we going to still say what we want to say in the manner that we want to say it. Call you out your name, say whatever we feel. When the person's trying to express to you how that landed and felt, because our upbringings are different. You know, some upbringings, I had to get used to him in the way he jokes, because I remember one time he was like, oh, washing my hair. He's like, you got a big head. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's terrible to say, because we didn't joke like that. But as I learned him, I knew what he meant. And I knew it wasn't coming from a place to intentionally hurt me or hurt my feelings. But it did, and so until I understood and learned it. So that was just an example of, but a lot of times we have to hear, because there's times that he like, yeah, but I didn't like it. I'm like, well, Dre, but why would that bother you? It was so simple. Well, yeah, and I'm trying to think, we went through this recently. You're like, yeah, but I didn't think that was her. So I'm like, so now I'm seeking to understand, well, why did that bother? Like, and then you realize sometimes it comes from it's a trigger. It's something that maybe you dealt with recently, or something on your job, or just something you've heard someone repeatedly say that you don't care to hear that is offensive to you. So it's all, but that comes with what? Communicating and understanding, right. Like, oh, well, I didn't think that was something offensive, but now I understand. I won't joke with you like that anymore, or I won't say it to you like that anymore, or vice versa. So it's all about understanding and hear. And when you care, you adjust. We don't continue with that. Well, you just ought to be, just toughen up or get tough skin or whatever the things that we say now. I don't know.
Or also, I just like to add with that too, the other extreme is it's okay to be vulnerable. In what we find in our relationship is state what you want.
Yeah.
We are not psychic. I'm prophetic, but I ain't psychic. Say what you want. And a lot of times we'll find with people, not just couples. Like I said, this is for any relationship. We feel like we're going to be looked at as a wimp because we say we need a hug. Or we look at like we're going to be a wimp because we say, I just need this. And especially men, I had to come, and I thank God, and I'm not just saying this, I thank God for my wife because I can go to her and be vulnerable. I can be those places, and she covers my nakedness. And what I mean, those times where I really need to be vulnerable and say to her, you know what? I don't know what was going on with me, and you all probably heard this story. And don't be judging me. Don't be DMing me. Talking about get a grip. Don't say that, Miss Angel. But when I turned 40, I don't know. Y'all, I don't know what was going on. I don't know what was going on with me. I was in this dark place. I felt like I hadn't accomplished much. And Val was like, what is wrong with you? And she could tell it. She could tell it wasn't like a 1 day or 2 day. It was like I don't know, it was like a dark place. And I had to muster up enough strength because I'm supposed to be the man, you know. But I had to tell her, I said, Val, I just need to be made a fuss over. I said, I don't know, I just need to be made a fuss over for a while. Now, here's the thing, what I'm saying. It took a lot out of me to say that because I had to allow myself to be vulnerable. But because I know this is my wife and it was a safe place, she made me feel like it was okay to do. She didn't talk to me in a condescending way. She didn't laugh at or whatever, anything like that. But she did the best she could. She, she ministered to me in that aspect. So that's what I like to say. As she was talking about as we do with expectation and just being open. Say what you want. Yeah. Nobody's a mind reader, and get out of that place talking about what people ought to know and you throwing hints. Bump the hints. And Valentine, we went through that. I said, I'm not good when it comes to hints. Yeah. I told her that I'm going to write a book called Men Are the Last to Know. We're the last to know because we don't catch hints very well. Yeah. You hint well. That's why I put the number on the refrigerator when you get, I didn't even see it. And like she said, I can't remember what we just went through, but we just talked about something. I was like, I just thought, I'm like, I ain't know. I didn't, and I didn't. So we have to make sure, men and women, say what you need. If you need a hug or if you need to be made a fuss over, or if you need if you feel like you're in a place that you're not feeling appreciated, because I found this out in relationship. It's a dangerous place when your spouse gets in a place where they feel unappreciated. When they start feeling unappreciated, the level of respect in the relationship begins to depreciate. Mm-hmm. So we gotta keep those grounds of communication open, because when you isolate, it gives way to all kind of other influences to come into that relationship. So this is why it's so need and necessary. Let's kind of change up a little bit. Y'all, thank you for hanging on with us. Let's talk about the importance of dating and taking those times out independently as well as together. And this is something that we had learned to do, because I'm like Val and I, we talked about this, and she'll probably explain a little more. Like the way I'm relax or rest, I'm doing something. And Val is the type of person is like relaxation, maybe curling up with a blanket, watching a movie or something like that. And it would irritate her. She's like, will you please sit down? Because my way of relaxing was doing something. Everybody who know me, I have about 4 or 5 computers, and my children are the same way. We got computers, tablets, cell phone. That's my, brother to say, go to IKEA, correct, right. But that's how we relax. So, but we had to come to a place that we had to understand that about one another and not take it offensively. And again, when you're not conveying that to your spouse, and it can be interpreted as isolating them. Yeah. Isolating them. So we had to let each other know, hey, when I get to the place of overload, I'm like, hey, I need to go drive around. But I also think that works better when you are secured in your marriage. Right. Mm-hmm. And there's no trust issues. Mm-hmm. And there's no current, offenses and things that are going on. Because then that would lead to the suspicion of, well, why is this person now trying to get away from me, so to speak? But when things are right, it's healthy, and there's a right balance in the relationship, it's okay to communicate what it is. We hear the term outlets. Like everybody says, I need an outlet, especially now
pandemic. Everybody been stuck in the house. Y'all done seen your spouse more than you probably. Some of you all cared. I'm here like, you know, you wanted it, but now it's too much. I don't know, but you know, I'm fine. But you know, everybody's different. But I think it's all in how you communicate that and what they know of him. Because Dre knows when he met me, I was outgoing. I like to be out, you know, and things. And when I say out, like not bad out, but like I like to go and do things. And he likes more indoor activities, or I'm
a homebody.
I'm homebody. Going to furniture stores. I'm not the furniture store person. I don't get any enjoyment out unless we are truly shopping for some new furniture.
And then she won't do it fast. It's like, okay, this table. Why we got to keep walking by this? She even say that, Dre, you just walked by that chair 3 times, you know. And I'm like, I'm looking at the stitching and all that kind of stuff. She like, just pick some. Let's go. We'll take that one.
Send me a picture. And so when you understand that, then we're fine with that. But it's he's secured in that. I'm secured in that. So hey, so now he go to IKEA. He can go by himself, hang out, do what you have to do. But it's also a partnership because we know that balance. We have children, so like who's gonna have children? So we try not to lean too far one way, doing too much where the other person is not getting fulfilled in that area. So if there are concerns, you gotta do things to relax, whether that's going to get massages, because he doesn't like massages, you all, believe it or not. He gets funny about people touching on him and his feet and all kind of stuff. I'm opposite. I'm like, hey, that relaxes me. I'm fine. So he doesn't feel bad if I go. He's like, go ahead and go. Now he'll do. Well, actually, you go to
yeah. I'll go with her. He'll
do the pedicures. He don't like the massage thing. Not even with the couple. Not if me and him are in the same. He just don't like other people. It just makes him feel weird.
With their little oil and stuff. No, don't be rubbing on me.
So there are things that we just find interesting, and then there's things we enjoy together, you know. And so you just need that refreshing. So what does that look like? It's different for every couple, you know. We're not in a situation where one is controlling the other and feel like they can't trust. Yes, that is why I go to the grocery shopping. But yeah, because you need that quiet time of he doesn't do well. We don't do well in the grocery store either.
Lord, you just said something. That's my God. That's God speaking through you, because I hate to go to the grocery store.
He rushes.
I hate to go through the grocery store. When I go to the grocery store with Val, and I'm not lying, it's like a marathon. While she's getting the lunch meat at the meat counter, I said, what we need? She said, bread, this, that. I'm running through the store like I'm playing football. I'm not lying, because I want to hurry and get out. And it even got worse when we had this corona stuff, because I'm like, I don't want to be around all these people. Tell me what we need to do and go. But Val likes to, and I say this respectfully, I love my wife. She likes to carouse and carouse, if however the word is said, down the aisles. Yeah, and she like to look at the packaging, and she like to compare this to this, and I'm standing there like, oh my God. And,
Y'all, it's so bad. We just went there 2 days ago, and Zion, our oldest son, was with us, and he got Zion doing this. I'm trying to get the sub at Publix. I'm in the line. Now, getting him a sub, by the way, for him too. Him and Zion just keep running back. Okay, what else on the list?
We're playing supermarket sweep.
I mean, him and Zion running back, and I'm like, that's not the brand, because Dre will grab a brand, or he grabbed I don't like stuff if it's dented. Don't touch it. If
she got to get the one all the way in the back of the shelf.
As long as it's not expired, though.
Yeah,
I can't. And so now he has Zion. So him and Zion on different aisles. I literally, like, by the time I got the sub and the lunch meat, all the shopping was because they had been running through the store with my list, getting stuff, but so we had to go correct a couple of things. I'm like, not that one, this one, but yeah, he doesn't do well in the store, and that's something we did as a family. But if I can go by myself, I typically go.
But I learned now to compromise. Because before I'm like, no, I ain't going. But I understand, like, it was not just the store. She wanted that time for us, because Val is a very sentimental person. So instead of me just saying no, she liked the whole idea of family, going shopping, and that kind of stuff. And me, I'm telling y'all now, I've gotten better. But for those that know me, I know that, like Veronica and some other, I can be the driest person that you will ever meet. I'm talking like sand dry. I mean, no laughter, no nothing. And I don't mean anything by it. That's just my personality, how I am. I've gotten better because, Val, like, fix your face, But I understand that that's the compromise in relationship, that when people don't really know you, they perceive you a certain way because they don't understand who you are in you. So Val, she understands that, and we understand each other and don't take it offensively. But that's something we had to work through too, as well, because it's like, people
tell him, Dry, ask him, how does he respond when I take him to my job's Christmas parties?
No.
You talk about dry.
No. Well, that, like I said, that was an area that we had to compromise in because I don't, how can I say? And it was nothing with her job. It was me. I don't like foo-foo. I don't like, it's kind of like cruise ship stuff. And if you all have ever been on a cruise ship, it's like the same stuff over and over again. Where do you work? Where do you come from? No. So it kind of, the script kind of went, oh, you're Valerie's husband. Yes, I'm Andre. Where do you work? I do this. Yeah. So I don't do well in that type of environment, and it will frustrate. Seriously, y'all, this was a frustration. Yeah. Every time around Christmas, when it's time to go to Valerie Christmas party, we were guaranteed to have a heated discussion.
Well, because earlier on, he got to a point, he used to go, and then he stopped going for that reason, because he felt like he was like almost like cramping my fun and style, you know. And it wasn't, not for nothing, not that I gotta say this, but it wasn't about the drink and stuff. But you know, corporate America, y'all know how they are. They get the drink and then they, Andre, man, and they're very touchy. They're like, come on, bro. And, you know, they call them bros. And Dre is looking like, and they're trying to make jokes, and he's not laughing.
And Val over here like,
I'm trying to laugh for the both of us. Like, yeah. And I'm
she's like, Dre, he said a joke.
Like, that was the moment you're supposed to laugh. I'm like hitting them under the table. It wasn't
very funny. The joke wasn't very funny.
So then he stopped going, because he thought he was helping me out in that sense. But then now that became an issue, because I'm like,
because she wanted me there.
You're my husband. You should accompany me there. Like, I'm not asking you to be different. Be who you are. We are who we are. You don't have to dance to the cha-cha slide or whatever. Just do what you do. And so eventually we worked through that. And then over years, you know, he ended up meeting the same husbands that all do the same thing. So that started working out. And Tiana's on here. Tiana, I know you know what Aerotech parties are like. You know.
So here's the compromise, guys.
You can only imagine, right? All that.
Here's the compromise. So once we worked through that, and I told her I was going to go, because it got big, y'all. It got big to the point where she would say, you don't dress like that when you go to your salon party. She would tell that.
Oh, yeah.
Look how you dress. You don't put that, you know. So I compromised. I would go with her, and I would secure her. I would secure, Val, I'm all right. Go do what you know. Because, you know, in those corporate settings, she has to mingle with people. I'm like, go do what you need to do. I found me a post by the food table. That's where I was. You will find me by the food table. The wings, the chicken, all the stuff. I was right there, and I'm like, yeah, girl, go do you. I'm good. So I had to secure her in the fact that, you know, I'm fine. Go, you know, mingle, do whatever. But just me being there with her, that made her happy, and I was happy. So that's what we were saying about compromising. You find out sometimes that you can't just say no. And that's what I'm doing. No, I ain't going. I don't want. No, it's not enjoyable to me. But we find out, like, there has to be a medium of compromise, because your spouse, they want you to be there. And sometimes this is what I mean by being vulnerable. You have to say that. Don't make up all these. Say, no, I really want you to go with me because I want you there. But that's easy, but that's the hardest thing for us to say, to present that vulnerable space because of fear of rejection or whatever it is. And then here it is, it pours in from our childhood or some event, and we spiral it right on into our relationship. And now both parties are lacking. Both parties are lacking, and wherever there's a deficiency, we go and find other things to fill that space, whether it's time, whether it's people, or whether it could be food. It could be different things that we're emotionally attached to. Are you all enjoying this conversation? We are well over time. I feel so bad that the Dillards were not able, but I'm going to bring them back on tomorrow, and I hope that everyone tune in. If you all enjoying the conversation tonight, y'all give us some hearts, give us some claps or some hands or something. Let us know. Angel said, Lord, help Chris know that. we have to understand those things. I think we're going to close with this. Just kind of thank you all for sharing and sticking around. I really appreciate those for your support, for those that support the Living Room in Relationship University. I saw Sandra Crudup on here, who's always supporting. Thank you for your support, Sandra, and all of those. Miss Vicky, all of those that are supporting this platform. I really, really, really do appreciate you all for just helping and, keeping that conversation going. I want to just say that, and Miss Queenie too. Yeah, Miss Queenie always supporting stuff. We appreciate you too. Just want to kind of close on this note and let everybody know about, again, our the Relationships virtual conference that we have coming up. and that's going to be May the 14th through the 15th. This is not just for married people. It's for any type of relationship, whether you broke up, whether you're single, whatever your classification is right now. We have someone that's going to be speaking into your life and help you navigate through those things, because it's God's will that we, experience the abundance that. In my mama, of course, my mama. I appreciate my mom, who's always supporting Mama Neil. So we appreciate. Yes. But you all remember that, and if you can't make it, just keep it up in prayer, because this platform is even though we laugh and we joke about things, my heart's desire is to really help relationship. Guys, we've got to support and do whatever we can to strengthen relationships. I was looking on the news, and it was stating that this time during this pandemic, divorce rates are at an all-time high, if you could believe that. People in relationship are not staying together. People are getting married, and they're overwhelmed with the big wedding and preparing for the wedding, but they don't prepare for the marriage. So it is our prayer, and the reason why I like to do this platform periodically, because we want to really help strengthen relationship with people to know it can work if you use the tools. Just because you have turbulence, that's not for you to just go and sign those papers. You have to work through it. I'm pretty sure those of us that are married or have been married before, there are things that come up in your relationship that you have to learn to work through. Sometimes we look at other previous relationships we look at now, it's like we're in a different headspace, and we could have worked through that. So that's our whole mission, if you will, for relationships, is to just help somebody and give them insight of, just you can make it. Stay together. It works. It can work. Yeah. So we appreciate you all. We're going to go ahead and sign off.
Hey, Miss Sandra. Thank you. I saw her. She said hello.
Okay. Just want to... y'all, my mom is like a big comedian too. She told me, "Oh, thank you, children. You didn't have to do." But now she done put it up here in your mama.
I think too, just to talk about the relationships, just to make sure people don't think it's just, a lot of time we just focus, like he said, solely on like the marriage as the ending, but it's just learning how to work through relationships in whatever capacity, whether that's on your job, whether that's within your family, because a lot of the tools and things that you need to really effectively work through a relationship, and the way these shifts happen through a relationship are things that we have to learn to do better, whether that's more effective communication, whether that's being honest in what we're feeling, whether that's just knowing how to, the right tone, and and I know it sounds like cliches, we hear this a lot, knowing how to listen better. A lot of times those are the root cause of why sometimes you wonder why you don't stay in friendships long, and you don't stay in work relationships long. There's a lot of strained, mom to daughter, fathers to sons, or whatever relationships. A lot of times it's because we haven't been taught how to effectively deal through those and really learn how to work them. A lot of times there's a lot of healing that has to happen with many of us, and so we don't learn how to fight through this stuff. We'll keep finding ourselves wondering why relationships don't work for us, and no matter where you go, if you're finding that you're having trouble with relationships with people, absolutely, a lot of times it's something that you got to stop and assess for yourself. I think if everybody assess themselves and stop trying to think that you're fixing everybody else, but really figure out what is it within you. And I think that's what's helped us. Trust me, y'all, we're not where we are today because we walked into it like this. We had to work through it, and we decided it was worth the fighting for it. And we cared enough that we wanted this to last. And so it takes work. It takes understanding. It takes a level of changing your identity and giving up of your whole self. But it is a matter of, a level of compromise and working through that it takes. And so just wanted to put that out there.
And that's absolutely true. Well, y'all, we can go on and on and on because I'm enjoying this conversation. Thank God for my guest, Lady Valerie. God bless you. Thank you, dear. Love her to life. Thank her for coming and sitting on the set with me. And y'all gonna see more of her. She laughing, but yeah, we gonna see more of her.
Let me put my cash app.
She talking about her cash app.
I don't have a cash app.
Now that ain't God. That is not God. That's what's wrong with these folks trying to get a cash app for the word. But
yeah, I don't have one, but you're right. They pay for everything now. Ministry, well, that ain't the topic.
Yeah, that's a different topic. But we appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. And please, if the relationships, if you know somebody that might can benefit from these conversations, please send it out. Hey, Miss Vicky, what's going on? Send us some. Miss Vicky don't know this, but she's our nutritionist. Y'all, she keep us right. She keep us right. She make these little things. I don't know what they call them. I'm call them things. But it's like flatbread with healthy beans and meats and all that kind. And they're good. They are so good. They're so good. So shout out to her. Don't nobody go calling her because I don't want her to be overwhelmed and then she can't give us ours. So yes, I'm gonna be selfish. We love you, Miss Vicky. Thank you. Not just because you feed us, but we love you. Sarah say it's not have it your way, Burger King. It's a give and take, and that is so true. Laura say marriage is a full-time job that you can't quit. That's true. My mom said, y'all is smart, y'all is cute, and y'all is important to me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mama Neil. We appreciate you all. Y'all, we thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been The Living Room with our special edition of the relationships. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow where we'll have Kenneth and Kenyon back with us to share in their relationship and experience. You don't want to miss it. Pass it on to a family or friend or somebody. Let them know you don't want to miss it. It's going to be good. So that's at 8 o'clock. We'll be right here. Share this with somebody and let them know that to tune in to The Living Room. God bless you. You all have a great night.